What is up, Yugi Tubers? This is your boy Chris Mack coming at you for Team 2 Scoops. Just coming at you guys with a new deck profile here for Draco Pals for the April 2016 ban list. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So first up we have the Draco Pals, the 1 Luster, the 3 Masters, and 3 vectors. Pretty much still standard. I'm still playing 3 and 3. You guys will see because of the spell lineup, and you'll see why I'm running the 3 vector, 3 master. Also, we're running the 3 guiding Ariande because that's Bay, who doesn't like playing counter trap cards for free, strike for free, chaos trap hole, scoldings, you know, this, that, and the third. Now on to the Performer Power Engine. Boss monster of the deck, Sorcerer right here. I get Sorcerer to go off so many times, especially on turn 1. You guys will see the tech card I'm using for that, and you'll just be like, oh, why didn't I think of that? But we run him at 3. You don't have 3, get 3, or get wrecked. Next is going to be 3 Lizard Draw. Just because for the sheer factor is a scale that I can go ahead and remove, and also draw a card. And he also has great synergy with Guitardo. Run 2 Guitardo, 3 is a little bit cloggy, and he's a little bit harder to get off the field. But him and Lizard Draw makes great Pot of Greed type plays, so we're going ahead and still run him at 2. Then we're going ahead and run 2 Silver Claw. Silver Claw, once again, is just another high scale, and he's a level 4 monster. And dark, because, you know, the lure is at 2, so why not go ahead and bump up the Silver Claw. Next are the 1-ofs. 1 Monkey Board, self-explanatory. 1 Skull Combat Joker, self-explanatory. And that is it for the Pendulum monsters that are in the deck. Next up we have 2 Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk is one of those key techs I put into the deck, especially with the lure being at 2. And it allows me to go on ahead set up false scales, like if I open up 2 Ariande and a spell, I can go on ahead just scale up both Ariande, summon the monk, pitch a spell, go sorcerer, pop these 2, add 4 cards to hand, all on the normal summon. So I essentially reload my hand with the cards I want and need. And then last but not least, Maxis. Now with everybody playing the XYZ version of Monarchs, and you have the PK Fire, you have the Burning Abyss players, and you have the Cosmo players, it's really important that, you know, you can go on ahead and be able to have outs and draw into your outs, especially when they can establish a great board using so little resources. That is it for the monsters. Onto the spells. 1-ofs, we have 1 Regeki, board clearing, self-explanatory. The 1 Draco Face-Off, I was so ready for Wavering Eyes to get hit. I didn't see them touching Draco Face-Off, but I guess it was just too powerful of a card. Next up is the 2 Painful Decisions. Run 2 Painful Decision because it allows me to go on ahead, if I just have a hand just full of high scale monsters, such as the Guitardo and the Lizard Draw, and I just need to go ahead and get a low scale so that way I can get my combo started. I can just go ahead and search for either Vector or Master and be able to go on ahead and start my combos. Next is 2 Unexpected Die. Unexpected Die, I decided to go on ahead and run in place of the 2 missing Draco Face-Off. Unexpected Die, for people that do not know what it does, if you control no monsters, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck. So it allows me to go ahead and grab my master to make, you know, the XYZ plays, to go ahead and make the fusion plays into the Dynaster and everything like that. Next, 2 Allure. With me running the 2 Summoner Monk, the 3 Vector, the 2 Silver Claw, and the 1 Skull Cravat Joker, I have plenty of targets to go ahead and use for Allure. And if not, I can always pitch it with Summoner Monk to go ahead and grab something else, or set it to be popped by a sorcerer. Next is 2 Twin Twister. I'm contemplating on taking out MST, or taking out Twin Twisters and putting in Mystical Space Typhoon, only because this requires for me to discard a card from hand. So top decking this card is really bad, but also top decking MST would be bad. So this just has more board clearance as far as for back rows. Like I said, when you're going against stuff like Cosmos and PK Fire or Burning Abyss, you really want to go ahead and be able to out their back rows, because they can have Cosmo Joes, Strikes, Fog Blades, and stuff like that set. That is it for the spells. Next we'll go ahead and move on to the traps. I'm running 2 Solemn Strike, 1 Solemn Warning, and 2 Chaos Trap Hole. Everybody's probably saying, "Oh, but Chris, what? You need to run 3 strike. 3 strike or go home." One, don't have 3 strikes. I'm pretty sure I can borrow 1 from somebody at any point in time. But I like 2 strike, the 1 Solemn and the 2 Chaos Trap Holes. The ratio is pretty good. I don't want to go ahead and run 3 strike and it just end up getting cloggy. I like the 5 counter traps. If I can find space for the 3rd strike, I'll put in the 3rd strike. So that is it for the main deck, and now for the extra deck. For the extra deck, 1 Ignister Prominence. I have an actual one from the real set. I just can't find it right now, so I just went ahead and dug one of the gold ones up. 3 Dinister. Decided to go ahead and bump him up to 3 because he's just so easy and free to make. Was contemplating on putting a Beast-Eyes Pendulum Dragon because he just required a Dark Dragon type. Another reason for me to go ahead and run the 3 Vector. And a Beast type monster, which I have 2 of these Silver Claw, and I was gonna run Rescue Hamster, but Rescue Hamster is just not good in this build. So whoever tells you run the Rescue Hamster build, you can tell them to go shoot themselves in the foot. 1 number 38. I hope he's number 38. Hope Harbinger Dragon, Titanic Galaxy. Pretty much he's the new kid on the block. Just generic 2 level 8 monsters. My opponent plays a spell card. I can go ahead and negate and attach it to this card as an XYZ material. And with it being attached as an XY, and if a monster on my side of the field is attacked, I can detach an Exceed material from this card and change the attack target to this card and immediately enter damage step. And then also, if an XYZ monster I control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, or by my opponent's battle or card effect, I get to go ahead and add or increase the attack of 1 monster on the field by that monster's attack. 1 Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. One of the biggest problems I have is just being able to go ahead and climb over bigger monsters. So with him just being a regular 25 to boot, with the ability to climb over bigger monsters, it works out great. Just ran him in the extra deck at regionals. Guy had a Beatrice in defense mode with he had a Beatrice and a Dante. So I made Dark Rebellion and Abyss Dweller. Went ahead, activated Abyss Dweller's effect, activated Rebellion's effect, taking half of the attack of his Beatrice, swing over the Dante so he wouldn't get any effects. And then the next turn, he went ahead and decided to Farfa this guy away and attack the Abyss Dweller with his Beatrice. And he did not know that the halving his monster's attack being half was permanent. So he ran into a dweller and got wrecked and got and he was pretty salty when that happened. One diamond dire wolf. He's pretty much the break sword for this deck, except they can only target these monsters, stuff like that. Castel, board removal. Utopia Prime, and Utopia Lightning. The reason why I'm running these three is because I can go ahead, overlay Prime over Utopia, and then overlay Lightning over Utopia. The Prime. So that way, essentially, I would, in a perfect world, have 4 Exceed materials and be able to go ahead and use his effect twice. Because there's, like I said, one of the biggest problems is being able to climb over stuff like these ships and everything like that. So I would if I have to go ahead and climb over a Dark Destroyer, it's going to be very, very hard to go ahead and climb over another one that they may be able to put on the board, or over a Forerunner that they may be able to go ahead and put on the board. So that's why I'm running the Prime build of this. And then, of course, one Magister Palin, the Ascending Draco Slayer. He's pretty much a Gen X Neutron, the one that allows you to search only in phase. And yeah. Dropped my phone. Sorry about that, you guys. One Giant Hand, because he is Giant Hand, and we all love Giant Hand. One Digestone Emerald to go ahead and be able to recycle any cards I need. As you saw, I'm running Painful Decisions as well as Unexpected Die, so things can go ahead and get pretty bricky. So in order to make sure those cards are still alive, turn maybe 4, if it gets to that, I can go ahead and make him and be able to shuffle 3 back, or I can special summon one of the normals in my grave using his effect. And then, of course, last but not least, the Abyss Dweller. Once again, of course, for that random Mermail player, for that random, or not random, but the heavily abundant PK Fire, Burning Abyss, stuff like that. And I even make it against ships. I go ahead and make him. And then, especially if they have a full board, I go ahead and Raigeki, chain his effect, and the ships won't float anything else out. So other than that, that is my deck profile. If you guys want, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. We'll try to go ahead and have more videos and duels, pack openings, and stuff like that. But until then, love, peace, and chicken grease, everybody.